The North Americans pretend to give us lessons in humanity and to bring our people the doctrine of salvation so we can govern ourselves, to respect the laws and conserve order. Are these the ones who treat us worse than slaves?
The U.S. declared war on Mexico in late spring of 1846. In Southern California, here in Los Angeles, the troops came in and they declared that it was now under U.S. control in the late summer of 1846.
The great contribution made by Francisco P. Ramirez is that he was the first person to protest American discrimination. His editorials about the treatment that Americans gave Mexicans in the 1850s is the absolute foundation for a discussion of the subject today. Los Angeles at that time had a population of maybe 1,500 people. It was very small. Ramirez was born in his father's homestead, and just across the street lived Jean-Louis Vigna, a famous French vintner in Los Angeles, who was the godfather of Ramirez and treated him as like a surrogate son and taught him French and was responsible for a lot of Ramirez's liberal ideas. Soon thereafter, he wanted to form his own newspaper, and he wanted to call it El Clamor Público.
The public clamor, the public outcry. He speaks to, for, and about the Californios and what they're experiencing under this Yankee regime, which promises equal treatment and liberty and justice for all, but does not extend it. But he is not totally anti-Yankee. He tells the Californios, learn English. You have to vote. The war is over. It's not going to go back to the way it was.
He thought if there was a Mexican mayor, a Mexican sheriff, a Mexican city council, that Mexicans would be treated equally because they would have the power.
He's saying, look what they're doing to us. They're stealing our land. They're lynching our people. He said U.S. democracy should be called lynchocracy. He stands up for the rights of blacks. He stands up for the rights of Chinese. He stands up for the rights of women. He calls for public education, which was controversial, for taxpayers to pay for other children to go to school. He says we should have that, and not just for boys. He said girls should be able to go to school too, so they will not become the playthings of their husbands. Anybody who takes the bus from Union Station goes down a driveway when the bus leaves, and if you would go straight, you're going on Ramirez Street. And my dream is that someday we would have on that wall facing the street a mural with El Clamor Público, recognizing the newspaper, and a picture of the man who lived there, who put his paper together there, and who had this tremendous impact on our city, and it still has messages we should quote today.